Hello, everyone. So this micro training is about how to ask people about booking a party. So before we talked about making sure that your host understands that she's on your team and that her asking for those bookings is actually going to be one of the best things that she can do. But now it comes to your interaction with your guests. And so I'm going to kind of break it down into in-person parties and online parties because your ask is going to be just a little bit different. There's horses up there. I don't know if you guys could hear that. So an in-person party is what I'm going to do first because it's my favorite way of asking for bookings. In-home parties get higher average bookings just because you have that personal connection with people. But the first thing I do is during the presentation, I always make a big deal about bookings. And I always use the phrasing now of we need 2 people to book a party to make sure your hostess gets the best benefits, the double hostess credits, the double free credits, and the 75% off items, and also 1 party to continue the impact and 1 party to grow the impact. And then I make a really big deal. I have some little gift bags, and I was like, so who wants to be the first person to say yes to booking a party? And normally I do this immediately following a game because games are fun and people are more likely to say yes after they've had fun doing something. But now the other thing that I do is when someone comes to check out, and now we've told you guys over and over again, make sure you ask everyone to book a party. Don't make any assumptions because likely the person who's giving you dagger eyes throughout your presentation may actually be the person who does say yes to hosting a party because she's just really interested. And so when someone comes out, they come to check out, there's a cascade of questions you always want to ask. One, are you interested in doing what I'm doing? Okay, that's question number 1. Question number 2, would you be interested in sharing this opportunity with your friends and family as a party host? And you ask directly. So one mistake you don't want to ask, you don't want to say is let me know if. Don't ever use let me know if phrasing. A wishy-washy question gets you a wishy-washy answer, and that's never helpful. Okay, so you ask that direct question, and then you also always ask for that sale, right? You look at the special. Hey, you have 3 items here. The special is buy 3 items, get 3 items 50% off. Did you want to choose a couple more items to get 50% off and make the full use of the special? Okay, but now go back to bookings. Okay, you ask her and she responds and she's like, oh, not now, I'm just really, really busy. And so when you could say, I say, okay, well, I'm booking out a couple, 2 months, if that would be enough time. I know maybe right now is not a good time. And if she's still oh, I don't know, it's still gonna be really busy. I said, that's great. I would love to be able to work with you if that's something that you'd be interested in. Would you like me to reach out in a future time? Either in the summer or when we have special deals and promotions. And they might say, oh yeah, that'd be cool. You can reach out at some point. And so then I say, okay, when would you like me to reach out? And so you get their information then. Okay, that is in-home parties and asking for bookings. The biggest thing at in-home parties is you ask every single person with a smile. And don't take personal when someone says no, because literally you're just asking them for a piece of gum, right? You're asking them if they want to do this, and if they say no, that's fine. Now with an online party, it's all about exposure. How many times are talking about bookings? How many ways are you talking about who's benefiting, right? Benefits the customer who books a party, benefits their hostess, benefits the mission, benefits the artisans, right? Benefits their friends. So you got to make sure that they know how many people it's going to be helping for them booking a party. You want to say it when you're doing your live presentation. You want to make sure to have multiple posts about it. And then when someone places an order, one of the things that I would recommend doing is creating a conversation, because I used to thank them for their order and then right away in that same message be like, do you want to host a party? But what was happening is I was getting no thanks, no thanks, no thanks as a response, and I was feeling like my thank you was not seen as being genuine. So I always say, hey, thank you so much for booking a party. And I ask a question. I say, were you able to get everything on your wish list today? Or I say, did you enjoy the party this week? Did you have any questions? Or what questions do you have for me would probably be a better question to ask, because do you have any is a yes or no question. You want to ask an open-ended question. But then the people who respond, then I ask them, would you consider hosting a party to help your hostess get closer to unlocking bonus levels of incentives for her in her party to get better rewards and to continue the impact of Better Way Designs? The other thing I do is make sure that you're paying attention in your party when someone's like, man, I absolutely love this stuff, but I don't have the budget to be able to get everything that I wanted. I had a couple people in this last party that I was just doing online that commented that, and I got a couple of people booking parties because I said, hey, the best way to get that is through hosting a party. And I had someone else who wanted a king size blanket, and we tried to get her to book a party, but she didn't want to, so she ended up actually buying an original size sari blanket. And then hopefully now in the follow-up, I'll be able to ask her again about booking a party. Follow-up is also really, really key, making sure that, within 2 weeks, ideally, of someone receiving her order, make sure you message them and say, hey, how'd you like your order? When they respond, then you say, would you be interested in sharing these products with your friends and family sometime in the next couple months? And again, getting that follow-up list as well. So I had someone who responded back when I texted her and I was like, would you be interested in hosting a party? And she's like, no, I'm going through grad classes. I have all these things going on. And I said, oh my goodness, you have a lot going on, and you want to acknowledge them. And then you want to respond and say, would you like me to put you on a follow-up list sometime down the road? And then they'd be like, oh yeah, that's great. Or maybe they might say, no, thank you. And that's fine too. But this person said, yeah, I would love to. Oh, and I said, when would be a good time for me to follow up? And she gave me a time. And I said, all right, I'm going to put that in my calendar. So that is about asking for bookings at your parties. So I would love to know, what would you like to implement into your techniques and how you're going to ask people about hosting parties in the future?